Okay, I want to say hello everybody and welcome. Okay, it's me, Wushu Richard, or Richard Clark, and as you know, I love to draw and I love to make cartoons in my free time. I'm not the best artist, but I do love to draw. Now this video, okay, is for anyone watching, okay, who may be interested. And also this video is for any of my friends, okay, who know me, so thanks for watching. I'm not the best artist, okay, I'm not so great when it comes to, you know, my artwork and cartoons, but I do love to be very creative. Now, excuse me, what I'm going to be doing, okay, is I'm going to be making some videos where I'm showing you the process, like I'm showing you how I make my cartoons, okay, some of my artwork. Now if you want to look at some really good videos on the internet, you can find very good videos with people who are, I mean, real, you know, artists, be it in 2D or 3D, and some people can do some very, very good artwork, I know, okay, but you know, I just do my own thing, you know. I'm not so great, but I just do my own way. I just create, you know, I just make characters, the backgrounds, the story, the music, the voices, everything. I do it myself from my own imagination, you know, and I just make them myself. So I want to make some more videos where I'm showing you the actual process, like while I'm drawing. Okay, while I'm actually drawing, you can actually see me making my art, and I will talk to you while I'm making it. Okay, so you can hear from my mind, you know, what I'm thinking, and I can explain to you what I'm actually doing. So as you can see, this here on my screen here, this is a character design I've made for a new cartoon. Okay, this is a guy here, a new character. It's not the best drawing, but I made this character, okay, he's in a red hoodie, and he is a character for one of my new cartoons, okay, so here we are. I will also show you some more images of the character, okay, also, here we have it, this is the first picture I drew of the character. It's the side-on view, okay, and you know, if you go close up, you can see it's not the best artwork, but you know, I do many different kinds of cartoons, and I like to just try to come up with different artwork, you know. Another picture here is from the back view. I was pretty happy with this one. Okay, it's from a back on view of the character. Okay, the same character. Okay, so we got this view, this view, this view. Okay, I like the close-up views. The next one is this view here, which I was really happy with. It's a front-on view, and it looks like he's like walking forward. Okay. Now for some pictures I draw. Okay. Sometimes I draw them myself by hand. Sometimes I will use softwares like Manga Studio and draw over like 3D dummies, like 3D figures. Sometimes I draw over photos and just change the characters a little bit to make them my own characters, you know. And it doesn't matter how I come up with the characters. I just see the character in my mind. Okay, I see the character in my mind, and I think about that, you know, and I think about the kind of story I want to tell, you know, and then I just start to design. And if I'm not happy with a character, if I'm not happy with the way they look, usually I will just delete it, you know, or keep it for reference. But you know, these are some designs I made here. Now as you can see, the character looks a little bit different in the different designs, but you know, this is some rough designs I've got for this character, and you know, it's not the best art, it's not so great, but I do love to draw. Now I also made a little friend for this guy, a little friend, and here he is. Very cartoony, right? Very, very simple. A little guy I made, okay, and I drew this character myself also, and a very funny little guy with glasses there, and you know, I like to make my cartoons, as I say. So as you can see, there's no background, you know, there's no background, it's just white, yeah. So what I usually do is I will make the backgrounds, you know, I will draw the backgrounds separately, and then I will put the characters on top to make like images or animate them on top of them, okay? So this is a very, very simple video here, just showing you, and what I will do is I will actually show you that right now. If I open up some software, let's open, I will open up Manga Studio and Anime Studio to show you some very good things, okay? I love these softwares. This is Manga Studio, okay? I use Manga Studio to draw my artwork, okay? And Manga Studio is amazing because it's got these 3D figures in, and I will show you the 3D figures now. If I go here, this is a drawing software, okay? This is for drawing, this is for your art. If you love to draw and paint, you can do it in the computer, okay? So obviously you have all the different things you can draw everything, okay, there, okay, you can use anything, different colours, you know, different brushes, okay, things like that. Hold on one moment, I'll show you like this, you see, different brushes, you know, and different kinds of effects. We have many, many different things in here we can use, so many different things, okay. For example, the tree, like for leaves and things like this, you see, I can make these here. Excuse me, like if I want to draw some trees maybe, you know, for example, I can have this kind of a pattern on here, okay. But anyway, we'll turn that off, okay. And I want to show you why it's so amazing, okay. In Manga Studio, this is Manga Studio 5EX, you have there's 3D figures, okay, these 3D figures. So if I bring this on, first of all, File, New, okay, bring in a new figure here, look at this, have a look. Takes a while to load. This is a 3D figure. Now, I didn't draw this, but this is a 3D figure, so you can move this person around. You can have a man, a woman, whatever. You can make them very fat or very thin, you know, very tall, very short. You can change their body shape, okay. And if you look, see, what you do, okay, is you can turn this person around. You can choose like the head, and you can make him do different poses, you see, like for example here I can move the arms, you see, excuse me, can select the shoulder and then move the arm, you see, into position. So that's not a very good position, but you know what I mean though, right? So I can move anything, you see, move his body like this, move anywhere I want, you see, his waist, whatever, you know, here, or like, excuse me, like changing the position, you know. And you know, really you can get any kind of like position you want, you know. I can zoom in and out, I can put his leg up, whatever, like move the legs, you know, do all kinds of crazy moves, okay. But you know, when you want to make a very good comic or cartoon, you know, you might want to get some, you might want to take time and try to get a very, very good shape. Now, also we have things like this, the light source with the shadows, you can see there, okay, to get the shadows on, it's really, really good, okay, things like this. You can also do things like manga perspective, so you can like zoom in and out, like things like that, for example, get some real crazy angles, okay, like for example here, like see the fierce, like for example he's punching or whatever it's going to be, you see, or like this, you see, boom. So I'm just saying, you know, you've got many different perspectives and different things you can do. Plus I can change his body to be like very, very strong, very muscly, or very thin. I can do all of that. And what you do basically is you go in, because we work on different layers, okay, work on different layers in Manga Studio. Excuse me. And what we usually do is you work on layers, as I say. So this is a figure. So first you will position the figure, you will get the position you need. Okay, for example, like this position, maybe he's looking up, he's looking at an aeroplane or something like that. I will turn down the tone, you see, like this. So I can see it, but very faintly, okay, very lightly. Then what I do is I go on top, I add a new layer here. Okay, we have the layers here on this side, different layers. So I have a new layer on top of it, okay. And now what I do is basically I just go in and I draw over that, you see, draw the figure, you know what I'm trying to say. So I would draw on top of that to make my art, is what I'm saying, okay. I can change all the brushes. There's so much in this Manga Studio. It's a lot to learn. You have to learn and practice. You have to learn how to use it, you know. You see what I mean? But you can make any character, make any people up you want, you know. And it's a very good way. This 3D tool helps you to draw, is what I'm saying, yeah. But anyway, that's just a very, very brief look, a very, very basic look at that, okay. So now let's have a look. I want to show you something, okay. I made this background the other day, and I wasn't supposed to show you it, but I'll show you it now. This picture here, I made this yesterday. Okay, it's very, very simple. If you have a look there, okay, all it is really, it's just a street with some buildings and a wall. Okay, I made this yesterday. Now I can come in here, you know, and I can change certain effects and stuff. You know, I can come in. I can of course change the colour, like change the, like this, you know, make it blue, maybe make it very strong, or maybe make it very dark, maybe like a nighttime scene, like nighttime, you know, do some different effects. I can do all those basic things, just playing with the colour, the, you know, the contrast, the saturation, the hue, the brightness, the contrast. See, like this, I can do that, you see. Like that, make it dark or whatever. I can do anything I want with that. That's just simple stuff, okay? But what I'm saying is you work with these different layers, as I said, so you've got layers on top of each other. So I can put things on top of this. This is like basic art, okay? Basic art, how you make art, okay? Basically in this software. So if I have my little my two characters, let's say. Which one shall we choose? We choose this one here. Okay, oh, excuse me, I've messed that up. I think what we'll do, okay, to show this more better, I will use Anime Studio, another software to show you. Is that this is Manga Studio. This is Manga Studio, and this is basically for making art. Okay, so what I'm saying is I can import pictures. Okay. From here, any of these pictures you see, like this, and you see how I'm doing that, can you see? So what I'm saying is I can zoom in like this, you know, excuse me, move, you know, clean up my area a little bit, and you see how I can get this character here, and I can, oh, excuse me, I can shrink him down, you know, shrink him down, make him smaller, shrink him down, excuse me, and you know, move him around until I get the size I want. And this is a case of moving the character, you know, and basically until you get the right position and the right size. See, like, excuse me, got to be careful where you click. And you just literally move them into position, you see, like that. So now we have this picture here, and it's like he's walking on the street. Okay, he's walking on this street, for example. Okay, so I made this myself, you know, and it's just like he's walking on the street. Right? You can imagine. Okay, and this is how you create pictures, basically. Now, what I usually do, okay, usually I use another piece of software, okay, and that software is Anime Studio. This is Manga Studio, but I'm going to close this for now, turn it off, and we're going to use the same background again and the same picture again, but we're going to open up Anime Studio. Just remember, Manga Studio is for the art, the drawing, but Anime Studio is for your cartoons, like your moving animation, your like cartoons, okay, your animation. So basically, what I do, okay, is I will go in and I will bring my background in first. So I drag it in, and here it is, okay. You can see at the bottom there is a timeline at the bottom of the screen. There's a timeline, like a video player, just like in video editing software. And everything moves, you know, and you have to move everything on the timeline to different positions and make all of your movements. And there's a lot you need to learn about this software. But when you do study it hard, you can really learn so much. You get used to it, you know. Now, okay, let's have a look together. So I'm going to bring in my characters. I'm going to bring in the close-up of this guy. Okay. Okay. Now I can move this character around. I can zoom in and out. You see, and you see how that works. So this is this. Okay, here. And if I wanted to have this character, let's say, move around, okay, on the screen. If I wanted to have him move, you know, walk on the screen, what I would do is I would do the motion. I have to move him from this side to this side. I have to walk across, like walking across, boom, 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 boom. Okay, walking across, right? Okay. So what I would do is I've got two ways. One way is I can choose the background and make the background bigger, and then make the background, you know, go. You see, make the background go as it looks like he's walking. Or I can just move him, you know, move him. So it's a case of you can like move the different sizes. If I want him to be more closer, I would just zoom up, you know, like that. He's looking, like for example, he looks, he's looking, you know. And everything within this blue box, okay, is what will be seen in the actual real cartoon. And you must add the music and the voices when they're talking, you know. So I do that myself. I do the talking, the voices, the acting, and the music I make myself also. In my free time, I love to do this, making cartoons, okay. So, because I like to tell my own stories, you know, and just get creative. So, anyway, what I'll do, okay, is I will make the motion. So let's have a look. If I move this up, we can add points, okay, on the graph. So going on to the first frame, with this here, we can go leave that as it is. Go along a few frames, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 frames. Move it down slightly. Then go again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It doesn't have to be 8, but you just do as many as you feel is right to work in the speed. Right click, go up and select cycle so that it loops this movement. So this movement will go again and again. So this is, I'm not trying to teach you everything about this thing, I'm just showing you basically some things that I do, okay? In the future I will make much better videos if you like, where I can teach you more about the software, but let's have a look. See, he's moving up and down, right? So it looks like he's walking a little bit, right? But he's not going anywhere, right? If we want to make him go somewhere, what we need to do is we need to go back to frame 0, add another, add a thing called a group, okay, by clicking up here on the right, going up to the first one, and then going to group. We'll bring him into the group, that image, so he's into that folder. We could rename this if we wanted to, but I'm not going to bother for now. On frame 1, we're going to bring this whole thing from the left, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go along on the timeline, drag that bar across on the timeline, across here, to about, I don't know how long he would take. We'll do 48 seconds. and I'll pull him across to this side of the screen. Okay. Now, if I go back to like frame 1, okay, and then click off, and we zoom up again, okay, we just and play that, okay, from here. He's walking very fast, right? A little bit too fast, I think. So what we need to do is we need to go back up to that and drag that point along very much further across. Excuse me. Wow, it's taking a long time. Sorry guys. So I'm dragging that point across, as I say. I'd be better off to make it a bit longer. I think it's a 400. I'm increasing the amount of frames, putting that right across, and that's a little bit better. You see? So he's walking across. You get a music or whatever you want to have. So go again, try that again from frame 1. Click off, go there. Add music. He's coming in, yeah. He's coming to he's going to go to see his friend or whatever, you know. And what you basically do is you add this up, you put the different scenes together. So this might be like scene 1. This may be like scene 1. He's walking across, you know. Maybe in the next scene we see something different. Maybe a different place here, a different background, you know. And then, you know, maybe, you know, his friend is coming or something, you know. For example, his friend's here, you know. So his friend might be here looking for him, or maybe his friend is like in the background already, you know, standing there and just watching him walk past. So you make him more smaller, you see, and we just make him smaller, standing on the ground, small little guy there, and you know what I mean. We can literally, hold on, just pull him back basically, you know. So, yeah, you see, like that, see? You see that? So he's there and he's walking past his friend. And he's in front, he has to be in front, you can't have him behind. You must put the layers on top of each other properly. Because if I had the wrong layer, then he would look like he's in front, see? So the most important thing is you work with the layers very well, you know how you do it. So he's standing there, alright, it's a cartoon, let's say, that he's waiting and he's watching, and this guy doesn't know he's watching him, you know. Let's say he's walking by, you see, he's going to pass him now. He doesn't know that this guy's watching. He's thinking, you know, So, oh, sorry, that's an accident. But you know what I mean, he's thinking, you know, where's that guy going? So I'll turn this off, okay, I won't save it. We'll go back to this image. And I just want to say to you guys, thank you very much for watching this video, okay. This is a very basic introduction, me just showing you some of what I do in my free time, because I love to draw, I love to make cartoons, and I make them myself, all by myself, and I say thank you for watching. I'm not the best artist, but I love to do it, you know. I love to work with a 2D, 3D a little bit also, and I love to make the music, I love to make the characters, the stories, and it's all my ideas, you know, all my imagination. So I want to say thank you very much. I will continue to make more videos and show you more of what I'm doing behind the scenes, okay? And I will I will speak very clearly in my videos and speak very slowly also, because I want to maybe show, you know, my students these videos, and I want everybody to understand me clearly, okay? So I will speak slowly and clearly, and I will try to show you more of what I'm doing, of how I make my cartoons. And my real cartoons, when they are ready, when they are finished, you know, I hope you can always watch and enjoy my cartoons, okay? If you would like to be featured in a cartoon, just tell me, okay? And no problem, you know. But I'm just saying, you know, it's all good fun, it's all my imagination, and I love to draw. I've always loved drawing since I was a kid, you know, since I was young. And it's just something I like to do in my free time, you know, but also it's a hobby of mine. And I want to say you know, I want to make new, I'm making lots of new cartoons anyway, like proper cartoons, much better. And I want to say I will be making some new videos where I will be showing you me actually drawing and explaining how I draw, you know, and how I'm showing you in Manga Studio, mainly Manga Studio, showing you how I draw the characters, okay? Draw everything, the background, the characters, you know, and show you how I do all this. And I will not be showing you a lot of how I make the music, how I make the animation, and how I you know, do all of that. But I will show you the art, how I draw, okay? Now, I will show you some, okay, I will make some videos where I show you how I make the animation also, okay, and how I do music and how I do the voiceovers, the acting. But I want to really because I'm making a new show, I have a new show coming very soon, a new cartoon, and I want to make some documentation, you know, like to show you actually from having nothing, you know, starting with nothing, and then show you how I make each scene, like the artwork, the drawing, I'm saying the art, you know, and show you how I do that. So, you know, when you watch the cartoon, later on in the future, when you see the cartoon, you will know how I made it, and you will remember all of the processes. Hopefully, maybe you can learn also by watching what I'm doing. And you know, I use Manga Studio mostly. Okay, I use different softwares. I use Manga Studio 5EX because I think it's great. Some people use Photoshop. I use Manga Studio. I also use Anime Studio for the animation, you know, the moving, you know, cartoon part. I use other art software for drawing also, like Krita, Paint.net, and Artweaver. Okay, so Krita, Paint.net, Artweaver, they're all good and they're all free softwares. But I use Manga Studio because I love it, and I also love the 3D figures you can put in there as well. What do you call it? Photoshop is also good, but I don't have it. My wife has it on her computer, but it's in Chinese, and I can't read that. You know, so that's all good. You know, I use FL Studio for the music. There's two software which are very good for making music, and that's they're free also. One is FL Studio and one is LMMS. Okay, but I use FL Studio. I think it's great. It's Fruity Loops. FL Studio is great for making music. So you've got Anime Studio for cartoons, right? Anime Studio for animation. You've got Manga Studio for the art, like the drawing. And then you've got FL Studio, which is free, but that is for the music and all the voices, you know, and the sound effects and everything like that. So, you know, we're going to finish here. Before I go, I will just show you a little bit of one of my old cartoons, just to show you, okay, I think while I'm here, to be fair. Okay, to show you. I'm very sorry it doesn't come out very clearly for you on this, okay, because I'm using my camera to film the screen, and the only reason I'm doing that is because it works better for me. Like, if I record the screen, sometimes it slows down my softwares, and you know, and it cuts out and things like time limits and stuff. But as I say, these videos, okay, I'm making these videos for everybody, my friends, you know, watching in other countries, and also my friends, my family. Also, this video is for my students, okay, anybody watching, my friends. So I'm speaking slowly in this video, okay, that's the reason, because I want everybody to understand me clearly, okay. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, so here you can see I've made so many cartoons. These are all of my cartoons, okay? All of these are my cartoons that I've made, my different shows. Some of them are like 20 minutes, some of them are like, 10 minutes or whatever, but we can have a look at some things I've done. Okay, I will turn the sound down a little bit. We can have a look at some of the things I've done, okay, in the past. For example, I've done Iron Ninja, which has got some 3D in it. If you look at this Iron Ninja, it's a story, okay, it's 3D as you can see. I made this before. I'm very sorry it's not coming out very clear there. But, okay, so all the music, see, I've done myself, make this myself, you know what I'm saying? So it's a cartoon I made, a 3D one here, a bit scary. So if we go along, you can see different scenes there, you see, I made this myself. So they're fighting, the two guys. It's not great, but it's just simple stuff. Then the music myself also. You see the two characters fighting there. He's kicking the guy. Iron Ninja, And I love to make cartoons, as I say. So this is one cartoon I made. There's so many, okay, but I'm just showing you a little of what I've done in the past. We have different cartoons too, such as, hold on, I'll show you the Storm Master. I made this. See this one, I made this up. This is a very old cartoon I made before. The Master's in the rain, he's waiting there, I did the music myself, as I said, also everything myself. Very old one. Quite a strong guy. And then they fight, these two guys fight. Okay.
You've made a big mistake.
See?
Combat.
And then they fight, basically. I made the music myself, the voices, everything myself. This is a cartoon. So, and they fight. You see? I love to make cartoons. This is one I made called the Storm Master. I made this a while ago. Okay, so it's just it's like action martial arts scene here. You see? Very simple, yeah. But I like to draw and I like to make these cartoons, He's fighting with the master there. It's all about the martial arts, kung fu, because I love kung fu, like in my life, So it's like really simple stuff, He punches the guy, KOs the guy.
Get out of here before you catch a cold, kid.
Okay. It's a very old cartoon I made called the Storm Master, using these methods. I'm just showing you a little, as I say, okay? I'm not showing you everything here, we got different ones too, like, for example, Bigfoot Hunters with Jason in. Hi Jason, if you're watching. The 3D one, really beautiful. So, the software, all 3D, you see, background.
The other side of the river, fuck Danny here today. Ready? Are you ready?
This is an old one I did a long time ago. You see, I love this 3D stuff. You see, I like to do 3D also sometimes with different softwares, you can see here. And really this was actually very easy to make. It may look really amazing, I know it looks amazing, but this was very easy to make this in the software. Sometimes the 2D stuff's more difficult, you know.
Hello again, YouTube.
So I like to make cartoons. I'll show you a little bit more and then we'll stop there, I think. But I'm really happy I can show you, you know, my cartoons, okay? I really love to make them. And okay, what can I show you? I'll show you a little bit of the path, okay? This one's very short, so we can even watch it right here. I make the music myself, I do everything, the characters, you know. Very short, simple one. About this little guy who's walking, you know, in the snow, you know. Okay, so let's have a look together, you know. See, I drew this myself by hand, just painted in the computer. You know, you can hear the sound of the wind, and he's walking, he starts to walk in the snow. This is a little story. It's a very short one. This one's very short. You know, I love to make cartoons, you know. I'm sorry to talk to you and distract you, but you know, I'm just showing you what I do here, you know. But you can watch my cartoons when you're free, in your free time. I have many cartoons, and some of them are much longer, as I say. But you know, I like to draw. I'm not the best artist, you see, but like this, the buildings, the bridge, it just comes from my imagination, you know. This wall here, he's walking in the snow, you know. I love all of these kind of old walls and buildings and things you see like in China, for example. You know, I love to watch like Japanese cartoons, you know, like manga and anime. I love those too, you know. But I'm not very great at drawing. Okay, so you know, that's basically that, yeah. I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I want to show you more of how I make my simple cartoons, okay? And I'm planning a new cartoon very soon, okay? So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.